Hey guys, so I'm here today with Dark Knight Returns Part 3, The Master Race, issue number 2. So let's get started here. So, the issue pretty much takes place with Carrie Kelly getting interrogated by Commissioner Yendel. And, of course, if Carrie Kelly learned anything from Bruce Wayne the Batman is to not talk to the police because, snitches get stitches. And she seems to take this to heart because for the first 27 days that she's there, she does not talk once, nothing. Actually ends up talking when Commissioner Yendo kind of questions her about why she's so loyal to Bruce. Why is this girl who has her whole life ahead of her loyal to this crazy psychopath in her eyes? So this kind of sparks something in Carrie Kelly, and she does end up talking. She kind of goes back to reminiscing to the last hours of Bruce Wayne. And he's pretty much crippled and almost dying after the fight with Lex in Dark Knight Strikes Again. And he's telling her pretty much, well, once I'm dead, you need to continue my mission. And he kind of goes on to talk about his parents and the night they died, and how he always took comfort in the fact that they died together. And it always kind of made him sad at the same time because he always thought he'd die alone. So it was a really impactful, really emotional scene between the two, and honestly it was really well written, and the art just made it that much better. I really like that. The next scene we have here is Ray Palmer and Laura kind of talking to the Kandorians again and talking about how they're going to help them escape. One thing I do wonder is, what does Ray Palmer have to do with this? Like, why is he there? Other than he just goes along with it because he's afraid of Laura, I mean, understandable, I would be too. But maybe for the science aspect, because he's the only one who could maybe help them escape. Or maybe he kind of feels bad because, of course, him and Superman did try to help them escape before, but they had no luck with it. So that's pretty much where that ends, just kind of them talking to them. And we go to the scene with Carrie Kelly being transferred to Blackgate Prison by a whole bunch of guards. And one thing that I liked about this is the monologue bubbles change from like the color they were to orange to represent Carrie Kelly. So you get to see what she thinks and how her thought process works. But pretty much what you get here is she's kind of memorizing what turns they take and where they probably are, because she actually calls in the Batmobile, or the Bat Tank pretty much, to help her escape. So it crushes a transfer bus and she escapes, and there's this huge chase with her in the JCPD. So after this you get the Atoms shrinking down and going inside the bottled city of Kandor, and it's a really cool scene. You got like the mountains behind them and the birds flying, and yeah, it's really cool. Really beautiful scene. One thing that's not beautiful though is all the dead bodies that are in front of him, and this weird cult looking thing where it's just really creepy. So he's kind of like, wait, this is not what I was expecting here. So kind of in a surprise, they kind of take over Ray Palmer's tech that he has on, and they get big again. And the leader of the cult, Core, gets big and nukes the bottled city along with all the dead bodies inside it. So yeah, it was not a good deal for Ray Palmer. I think he would have rather enjoyed his time elsewhere after that. But after this, we do get a scene with Carrie Kelly in the Batcave, and there's a familiar figure at the whole Batcomputer thing. So that's obviously going to be set up for the next issue because that's pretty much where that ends. And the scene after that is, of course, Wonder Woman and her son Laura, and Wonder Woman's trying to teach Laura the ways of the Amazonians, kind of like take pride in fighting to protect us and protect your race and learn how to fight, just be proud of who you are. But of course, Laura isn't taking any of this shit. She could honestly care less about the Amazonian ways and how to fight and to learn how to fight. Because I mean, she's half Amazonian and half Kryptonian, so no sword, no bullet, nothing is gonna hurt her, so why learn how to fight if you're pretty much gonna win any fight you want? So that's pretty cool. I like that they're kind of sticking with this whole Wonder Woman teaching Laura, because Laura's obviously gonna be the big kind of maybe villain of the story, and the Kandorians too. So yeah, overall it was a pretty good issue. It was a lot stronger than issue number 1, I will say that. I enjoyed it so much more, especially the more emotional scenes with Bruce Wayne and Carrie Kelly. So yeah, the art continues the same, issue number 2, and the writing is getting better in my opinion. And I think I would definitely be willing to give this issue a good 8.5 out of 10, and I do recommend that you pick it up.